Londres.
Until Brexit takes effect, I'll still be doing my job as an MEP and still dealing with constituents' problems and letters. And here's a very typical email. I've had several versions of this in response to a campaign. I'll read you this one. Dear MEP, I have just found out that the EU has voted not to put in place a complete and total ban on the African ivory trade. Words fail me. In how bad a light do you really want your voters to consider you? Shame on the EU. Well, in the spirit of amity and constructive collaboration that I hope is going to characterise the Brexit process, I'm going to stand up for the EU on this one. A complete and total ban on the African ivory trade would not be in the interests either of Africans or of elephants. Let me illustrate why with a story of two different African countries. In 1978, Kenya, threatened by a decline in elephant numbers, banned any hunting of elephants on its territory. Result? Kenyan elephants are now, to all intents and purposes, extinct. Around about the same time, 1979, Rhodesia, as it then was, made elephants the property of whoever's land they were on. Result? Numbers grew. Why? Because incentivizing people to treat elephants as a renewable resource is the one way to counteract the natural tendency of African villagers to deal with what they would otherwise regard as a pest. See, my constituent here, whose motives I'm sure are very good and who thinks she's doing the right thing, isn't going to be looking at elephants in the way that an African villager does. We see them through television lenses or camera lenses, and we think of them as majestic, beautiful animals, which of course they are. But imagine living next to them. You would then see them as a nuisance that tramples crops, that pushes houses over, that hurts people. Without any countervailing incentive, your natural inclination will be to hunt them to extinction. The one way of ensuring that you don't do that is to allow you to make a profit by selling ivory, meat and hides. You'll then want to effectively farm the animals on your land. You'll want to cull the old ones but ensure that you have a breeding population to sustain numbers, which is what happened first in Rhodesia and then in Zimbabwe. A total, complete ban, which is what a number of people are arguing for, would take away any such incentive and would almost certainly lead to the unintended consequence of elephant numbers plummeting throughout the continent. It's the ancient wisdom of Aristotle. That which nobody owns, nobody will care for. Truly, the market is a wonderful, miraculous device.